Hello, I'm Mark Jardine. I'm at METSTRADE 2022 on the Ocean Safety stand with Alistair Hackett of Ocean Safety. And today you've got a few new products, but my first question, we talked earlier in the year about safety and the messaging and whether people are getting the message as to where it is on the priority list on your boat. And is that message now sinking in?
I think it is, Mark. It's a bit of a battle, I have to say, and I think the only way industry can sort of reinforce it is to just keep banging on about it. You just have to keep talking about it over and over again, whether it's people being spoken to at shows, whether we're doing it through talks at yacht clubs and things like that. It just has to be the long, hard slog to get the picture across. We can talk about new products all the time, we can talk about things that customers want and desire, but ultimately for us, the biggest push that we've got at the moment is how people understand what they're purchasing and how people understand how to use it. It's so important because it's not always about is it the best looking product, it's not always about is it the best product that fits on your boat. It's about how you're going to use it and how that product is actually going to be used by you as an individual, by the crew, by the husband and wife, by the race crew or whatever. It is important. We're getting there. It's not just for Ocean Safety to do it, it's for the retailers to do it, it's for other manufacturers to do it. It has to be a joined up story for us all to tell that actually this subject that we're all sort of very, very enthusiastic about, maritime safety, is absolutely critical, but it's all about hoping that the story that we preach never happens.
And talking about this joined-up approach, one of the partners you work with a lot, Ocean Signal, have come out with a new EPIRB, and that was a Dame Award winner, I believe.
It was the Dame Award winner, which was great for us because they've been a fantastic partner for us for the last 3 or 4 years, and they're coming up with some great innovative products. They've got some more in the pipeline, but the PLB3 is something that combines a number of products together. It combines AIS technology, it combines true PLB technology, and you end up with a product that ticks a lot of boxes rather than a lot of products ticking one box each. And so from our point of view, the way that we've integrated these products into life jackets in the past, the way that we've integrated them into the John Boys in the past, it's now going to give us the ability to have an integrated product integrated into a product, which is great for us because it gives a much bigger picture for people to actually work towards.
And talking of the John Boy, and you've talked a lot about how crews should practice these routines, and bringing someone back on board a boat is extremely difficult. But you have a new product here, the John Boy, and that should help, and this is a continuous innovation.
It is. The John Boy recovery module has been around for a long time, and in the marketplace it is pretty much unique. It's gone through a number of incarnations, and so what we've launched here today is the John Boy Mark 6. We've looked at the carcass, which is the bit that actually inflates that the casualty is actually going to be in. We've had a big look at the container with a view to create a better product when it's in the water, a better product when it's on the boat waiting to be used, and also for the customer they end up with a better product because we're actually moving away from annual servicing to 2-year servicing, and we will continue to review that. Ultimately the aim is to try and move towards 3-year servicing, but that's going to take a few years for it to sort of filter through. But I think we've ended up with a more stable product on the water, a product that inflates easier, doesn't blow away as fast, is easier for the casualty to get into, is easier for the casualty to actually make contact with, because there's always going to be a distance between casualty in the water and a piece of safety equipment. And we've also looked at something which has been pretty unique to the super yacht market in the past to do with the John Boy, and that's the remote release package. And that is how, when the transom of a boat is a long way away from the guy who's steering, there is a system whereby the product can be automatically released from the helm position. So we've worked really hard at that. It's onwardly developing. So I think we've ended up with a much better product, which is great, and it looks nicer as well.
This is quite a feat to bring together new features in a product, but also make it so that the service frequency interval is less often. So you set yourself high targets there.
Well, I think one of the things that one of the problems that we've had with the John Boy in the past is that it has been annual servicing, and that was principally because the container that the John Boy was in wasn't watertight in any way, shape or form. So we recognised the fact that the product used to get wet. It's in a marine environment and it's designed to get wet, but it's not necessarily designed to be wet all of the time. And I think by putting it in the container that it's now in, the fact that we've actually been able to move from annual to biannual servicing with a view to making that even longer, I think we're actually going to be putting ourselves in a position where we get a better product, which is going to be more cost effective for people to have, because they're not going to be paying for annual servicing. And ultimately, for us, over everything else, we have to design and manufacture a product that we know is going to do the job it's designed to do. That is the single most important thing. We build and design all of these products in the hope that they never get used, but we have to design and build these products in the knowledge that when they are actually needed, they are going to work and they're going to be able to do their job.
And this brings me back to the point right at the beginning, this practicing things. You're heavily involved with the regulation, with the sailing governing bodies to make sure that the right kit is on the right boats. But can you again reinforce that message to crews that they should practice and be completely familiar with their safety gear?
Yeah, we just have to work at it over and over and over again. We have to get people to understand that a lot of safety equipment now has actually morphed into something which has become quite technical. Gone are the days where you have a life jacket that you have to blow up orally. Gone are the days where you used to throw a horseshoe man overboard ring at somebody in the water. Those products still are very important, but there's a lot of other better products available. And like everything on board a boat, they're getting more complicated, the systems are getting more complicated, and we have to get people to understand that everybody on board has to understand how it works. And that's not just a race crew, that's husband and wife and 2 kids. And even the youngest kid has to understand the principles behind what is involved if somebody falls in the water.
Absolutely agree, and fantastic for again reinforcing that message. Alistair, many thanks indeed for your time and for everything that Ocean Safety does to keep us safe on the water.
Thank you, Mark. It's been a pleasure.